to go live with me. All right, well, welcome everybody. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. And this is a painting that I basically started last night, or finished last night. Had to move it back a little bit. Give it a little rotation. And let's see, like this. It's a little bit of an unusual painting for all of you. And happy 4th of July, everybody. If you're in America, if you're not in America, happy. If you're in Australia, it's probably tomorrow. So happy 5th of July. If you're in, I don't know, if you're in another country. Alexa, what's the final time zone?
The latest time zone is Eastern Standard Time, EST. EST is 5 hours behind Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, and is used as a standard time for the Eastern United States and Eastern Canada. It is not to be used for local time. Please try asking again with more context if it does not answer your question.
Alexa, what is the earliest time zone?
The earliest time zone is the Hawaiian Aleutian Standard Time, which is 6 hours behind the Coordinated Universal Time, UTC. It is used in the Hawaiian Islands in Alaska.
Alexa, what time is it in Alaska?
Alaska has multiple time zones. In Anchorage, it is 9:12 a.m.
All right, it's 9:12 a.m. So let's see, we got Mariana Sorensen. In Norway, you celebrate our Quinn. What is that? What is your Quinn? Alexa, what is the Quinn?
I missed something. Can you say it again?
What is the Quinn of Norway?
The name Queen means wise and Celtic, fifth in Ireland, council in Gaelic, and surname in Scottish. Did that answer your question?
Alexa, no. It did not answer my question, but that's okay. So I talk to Alexa a lot. So I got a lot of feedback on this painting, and a lot of people did not like the side colors on the side. So I feel like there must be an opportunity here to play with colors. Some of this paint has dried up. I'm not ready to start this next painting yet. I really want to experiment with what's possible as far as these colors go. So, Queen. Oh, you celebrate your Queen. Oh, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Who's the Queen of Norway right now? What's her name? I'm actually new to the idea that Norway has a queen. I didn't know that Norway was a monarchy. But now I do know. So good thing for the internet because you learn new things that way. I need to get some mineral spirits. I'll be right back in 2 minutes. So this is what I use for both cleaning and for thinning out my paint. Gamsol. It's supposed to be odorless, 100% pure odorless, but that aside, I definitely, my nose is really sensitive, so I definitely notice odors, but add some more bright colors. Yeah, that's what we're working on. I'm actually going to do that. Paint restored ruins. Gojo, what? Can I paint tilted towers from Fortnite? What are tilted towers from Fortnite? Can you explain what that is? I mean, I know I could look it up, but I really like to hear how people explain things. Like, the internet doesn't really explain things. I think everybody uses AI to like build these websites that talk about things nowadays. Or it feels like some things are like written by robots. And I don't like that. I really love to hear how people describe or explain things. And I think that's like a missing craft, missing skill. It is becoming a lost skill, and I think those that can harness that power are going to do very well. So here we go. I am cleaning out my supplies. I'll be right back. I gotta put this away. And as we move into this, let's see what we can do to recover some of these colors. So paint restored ruins. Gojo, paint restored Sonia. Queen Sonia is the Queen of Norway. So shout out to the Queen of Norway, Sonia. Esther Salazar, welcome. How's it going, everybody? Kitty, you love artist. Jamie Davis, welcome. How's it going? How are you doing today? Welcome to this live stream. I'll have to pin Jamie's post. Let's see, can I pin this comment? Yes, I can pin it for a little bit. Everybody, there we go. Jamie loves artists. So if you're an artist, Jamie loves you. We all need to spread love in this world, right? A little love never hurt anybody. And a lot of love sure as heck doesn't either. So the Boussior fam, welcome. Can I paint Kale Makar? It's so funny because people always ask me to paint things, and a majority of the time I don't even know what they are. So let's see what we can do with this. A lot of really dark colors up here. And, you know, I can agree that it kind of makes it like... Let's go with some strokes of green here. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see if it's a repairable idea here. Or maybe it's just done for.
Bird. Hi, what you doing under there? Hi.
I don't know if these brush strokes just make it too chaotic. So you're making a book, the Boussior fam. Welcome. You started painting what comes to you in meditation. Hey, that's pretty cool.
Sit.
So I can't see your profile right now, but you know, I will definitely take a look at some point. And I am definitely curious to see how that manifests itself into your work. And let's go like this. So I gotta admit, this really dark color is probably best if you, and you know, it actually looks different in person, I think, than it does online. Because these dark colors, you know, they can get too dark in a photo, but when you see it in real life, it looks a little different. I actually like where this is at, but I think I could brighten some of the colors here. So tried painting. So yeah, so how do you do that when you meditate? Can you explain your process? You just go meditate, and then, you know, once you're done, you paint whatever, or do you like meditate and paint at the same time, or how does that work? How does your meditation manifest itself in your artwork? You don't have to share your secrets if you don't want to. But, you know, imagine if you were live painting, and, you know, I was just curious, like, how do you do that? What do you do? Because if you're not meditating and painting at the same time, then are you really painting what you're meditating, or are you painting what you interpret from when you meditate? There's a lot of questions there. But let's see. We got Esther, you like my art, thank you so much. Boussier fam, Riley Pardon, Salazar Slytherin. Making a book. So this one is a previous piece that I was working on. And right now, this is just a lot of stuff all in one. I'm about to start another one here in a moment. It's going to be a fresh painting. So here we go. I'm wondering if I should just leave this on and paint on top of it, or if it's going to be possible to, let's see, how can we do this? Can I just leave this here? I don't think that'll work. Yeah, I'll have to put this painting away for now, let it dry. And we're gonna switch this out here. Let's switch it out. Starting a new one. Okay. So we got Northern Falcon. What's good, Northern? You're gonna publish your book. All right, congrats. So tell us about your book, BCR fam. For sure, I'm totally open to hearing it. You paint afterwards. You get a lot of doors and staircases. All right, that's cool. What do you? Doors and staircases. Sounds very symbolic. And you know, you don't have to share what they mean, but in your mind, you know, do they have a meaning, or is it just a door and a staircase? So what am I painting now? I'm going to be painting a series of Berg plates. So Charles Berg plates, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and sketch out the various things here. So you know what? I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. Usually what I do is I sketch and do one thing at a time. Wow, thank you for the gift, Jamie. Ooh, look at that. I get all these TikTok beats. You know, because of all the gifts, Jamie, I'm going to start this off by adding a thank you to this somewhere. Let's see. Thank you, Thank you, Jamie. Let's just paint this somewhere. It's going to be included in this visual experience somehow. I think let's figure out a composition. So rule of thirds, probably right here would be a good rule of thirds, right? Thank you. Now, I'm not saying this will stay this visually prevalent here, but in some way, thank you, JD. This is a placeholder for the first gifter on TikTok today. Thank you, JD. And this will appear somehow. This is like a placeholder, but I don't know exactly how it will manifest itself in the future. So Elias, so I added Jamie's name in here from TikTok because she gifted. So you know, I also put some people's names on here that just stay for a very long time or watch from, you know, lots of times. I like to include people, but Elias, I think I've seen you before, but unfortunately I can't add your name now. But maybe one day, maybe if we get to know each other. So yes, it is in here. I usually do like, you know, 2 or 3 people per painting or once in a while. So let's see, let's get a sketch going here. I'm going to start with, and I'm going to actually lay this out a little differently than usual. So a little bit more planning. And let's start with this this piece right here. I'm going to start with some legs and get this basic sketch going here. You know, rather than painting a sketch first, I'd like to try something a little different. and paint based on paint as I go. So we'll see what happens. Let's experiment a bit. And rather than doing a sketch, I'm just gonna start painting as I build up the structure here. So painting as I go here. My bird really likes to join our conversations, so be prepared for that. So Northern, by the way, happy, yes, we're approaching 10,000 subscribers. Very grateful. Streaming has definitely contributed to that a lot. Can I do something based off of Elden Ring? Ooh, today? What's something that could be based on Elden Ring? I feel like I could just put a ring and it would make sense. But let's see. So I'm gonna go right here. Add the toes. And then curve the toes up and around. Let's go like this. So we're gonna actually start painting the toes in as we go. So let's figure this out. I'm gonna go switch up the process a little bit. I probably one of my weaknesses probably as an artist is that I like to switch things up a lot. Pro SP. Well, here's the thing: is people keep giving me things that like, I think there needs to be like more specificity. Like, I could draw a sword. I'm happy to draw a sword. I don't know how Elden Ring might manifest itself. Just draw a big old sword. And let's see, we'll add a little bit of, we'll add some design to this part. Yeah, there's a sword. Let's keep going on with this piece right here. Getting distracted. Let's get distracted. Let's not get distracted here. And so we're going on with this piece. And let's see. So this one. Let's go like this. We got our toe right here. So come pretty much about halfway across the foot. And this will come up right around there. Let's just mark our toes right here. That's the first toe. This is our second toe. And this is our third toe. Something off about these toes right now. So we're gonna make some adjustments right here. And then we're gonna keep going. So we've got this piece, it's gonna come up a bit. So Northern, what are you doing for 4th of July? You got 2 more pages for your book. That's great. Hair looks kind of funky. Yeah, so I haven't been cut. My hair's like super crazy right now because I've been growing it out. So I got to keep it up in a tie. Otherwise it just gets too crazy and I can't deal with it. So these toes, I'm estimating the length of the toes. There's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So these toes got to be about 1, 2. This foot needs to be much longer is my issue here. So this foot needs to be a little longer. You know what, we'll let it go off the page. It's probably gonna come right there. Bring this in. And here we go. So bring this to the edge of the toe size here. Think you're going on your roof today. Hey, more Reddit draw. ATG, am I doing more Reddit draws? I haven't done so recently. I've really wanted to spend more time painting. But since you mentioned that, maybe I will do some more Reddit draws at some point. Maybe not right now. Maybe in a few days. I really wanted to focus on this project. So here we go. This probably needs to be a bit higher. And we're going to bring this down a bit more. Yes, we're going to take this off the page just because I've enlarged the leg and everything, and this needs to be more how do I say it? More proportional. It's going to be a little bit past the toes. If I think a bit, one thing that is important is constantly measuring things in proportion to the other. And I find that when I sketch quickly, I fail to do that. That's about right. So part of me is taking a step back to consider the shape here. And evaluate so let's see. Let's go like this. This needs to start coming down right about here. So let's bring the knee is going to go up here, getting the proportion. This is a big foot, but you know what? It's okay to have a big foot, right? Big feet are normal. So we're going to go with this. This probably needs to come out just a little bit further. And it's going to come up a bit more. We're going to work on keeping this thank you JD in here. All right. So got some stuff going on here. I just left for a bit. Now you see another painting pop up out of nowhere. Yeah, we're starting another one. So you're grilling hamburgers and hot dogs and getting in your hot tub. Hey, ATG, that is awesome. I wish you and your family a great Happy New Year. Or what am I saying? Happy New Year. It's the middle of the year right now. Happy 4th of July. It feels like New Year to me. Every day is a new resolution. That's why. What am I saying? Happy New Year. What a weird comment. Huh? I didn't forget it was 4th of July. I just had a slip and thought for whatever. I just, I say things while I'm painting that. Exactly. Exactly. So here we go. You're grilling hamburgers. Hamburgers and hot dogs are awesome. What a classic meal for for the holidays. For the holiday. Huh? Great. What a fantastic meal. I'm looking forward to it. All right. So what I usually do is I paint each thing piece by piece. But what I'd like to do this time is lay this whole painting out. Let me see if this how accurate this is, by the way. So this goes to the back of the heel and goes straight across. So yeah, I can already see quite a few things that are wrong with this. What shall I do? If I go straight up on this, well, what I could do is I can make this heel come up more, and this heel pretty much needs to come up more, and this body part needs to come out this way. Yes. Measure twice, cut once. And I think that helps to adjust what we're working on here. Because this needs to go straight up about right there. They're going to have some big old feet, which is okay. And this back foot should be coming up straight to the top of the knee. So, that's all right. We're going to go like this. Bring this off the page. And there we go. We're going to plan the next section. This one's going to be I'm going to experiment with a more cohesive color theme on this entire painting. So what am I making? Meat on. You don't like hot dogs. How come you don't like hot dogs, Boussiere fam? So, hot dogs. What am I making? So I'm making a painting that combines a variety of elements into it. There's going to be a few ideas in this painting. So rather than just one specific concept, it's a few things. So we're going to go with this leg right here. And let's go like this. We're going to go down. Let's play this like a Rorschach. Let's play this like a Rorschach. What do you see? What does it look like I'm making? And I don't mean that like, what does it look like I'm doing? I mean that like, what's your interpretation of what I'm doing? Because I think as an artist, it's always important to ask people, like, oh, well, yeah, this has certain meanings to me, or maybe I was in this mental state when I did this, but more importantly, how does this make you feel? How how does this speak to you? What is it saying to you? And that's really important to know. So here we go. Ronnie wants to join. Welcome to the live, Ronnie. Why do people who come onto my lives never want to show their face? It's so weird. So anyway, hoof-hearted, what does that mean? By the way, Ronnie, I don't have you on voice because I am live streaming on YouTube too, and it becomes very, very crazy. So excuse me if I can't hear you, but I am listening. So anyway, let's go right here. We got our foot. We're gonna come up with a foot right around at this corner here, and we're gonna bring. How can you listen if you can't hear? Well, you use your brain. And here we go. So I'm gonna come across like this and bring this down. Got a foot that comes around, that right around here. Maybe needs to move this over a little bit and give this more foot space right here. Yes, this works. Right here is about where the foot needs to end. Let's just start sketching out the foot here. Right down there, right there. So here we go. What time is it and where am I from? Josh Sharp. Man, Josh Sharp is the troll of the day. Like you could tell how old somebody is by the what they try to get you to say. I guess that Josh Sharp is about 12 years old. Josh Sharp is about 12. So what's my favorite food? I love soup dumplings. Soup dumplings are my favorite food. And Josh Sharp, I guess you're 12 because you haven't come up with your own unique ones. You haven't made up anything on your own. You just use the tried and true that you probably thought someone said that was funny. But you haven't quite honed your technique yet to be more sophisticated. There's an art to trolling and you haven't figured it out. So one day you may become good at it, but for now you are an amateur.
Alexa, how much time is left on the timer?
So perhaps you missed something while being on watch.
Being on watch.
You also love food. Soup dumplings are amazing. So red soup has dumplings. So soup dumplings, the Chinese version is a like a little bao, a little bun, like a really little bun, and it's kind of shaped here. Let me just draw it here. Look, draw a little soup dumpling. My favorite food. So it's this little bun. It's this little bun with like a pouch, and it's like a pouch with soup in it. And you bite into it. And you bite into it. And you bite into it and you suck the soup out. So the soup comes out, and then you eat the whole dumpling. That's why it's called a soup dumpling. But it's literally one of my favorite foods because it combines soup and whatever meat you have in it. So did you get sick because they were bad, or did you get sick because you just ate too many at once? So anyway, so let's go like this. We got this piece. We're gonna bring this up, and let's go bring this foot. This ankle comes up like so, and this kind of starts about the same way. So we're gonna go right here, and then bring this up here. The one thing about sketching with a paintbrush is that the paintbrush is a very wide brush, and when you need fine detail, it doesn't always do the best job. So Ronnie, are you just looking for free wins because I'm not even competing? Okay, I'll give you one more win, Ronnie, and after that, after your next win, I will not participate in your free wins anymore. But man, I'm at it every day. That's right, David. I am at it every single day. Almost. I took a break yesterday. My car ran out of battery at my house. Hey, I haven't cleaned my paint palette yet. Maybe I need to do one of those this week or something. I'll do a live stream of that. But but as far as that's concerned, yeah, I'm at it most days. I try to do it most days. Try to do some painting most days. So let's go like this. And we're gonna bring this up. And this. And this is pretty much going to be about the same length. So that up. So how you doing, David? What's going on, dude? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so yeah, the car battery. So my car ran out of battery, fortunately, at my house. The SEK is a Swedish krone, so it's Swedish money. It's a Swedish currency. But yeah, my car was out yesterday. And I decided to change it myself because I didn't feel like, because I actually know how to change a car battery, but I also didn't feel like taking it to the shop, getting a inferior battery for my car and pay more for it, and then extra. But I gotta say, it was really challenging for me to do because everything that could go wrong went wrong. No, I have a Honda. So everything that could go wrong went wrong. Basically, I lost one of the bolts inside the car, but fortunately it fell all the way through. I lost a tool that was in the car. I had to like reach my arm into it and dig around, but fortunately I was able to nudge it out with my hand, and it fell through the bottom of the car. I got the right size car battery. I think as far as like, it's how it works, but it was a little bit taller than my previous battery. I think, I don't know if that's how it works, but it felt taller because when I tried to put the top back on, top back on, it just it was messing up. So Alexa off. But speaking of Sweden, I was in IKEA the other day. I love IKEA. It's a very inspirational place. It's one of the greatest creations of Sweden. So the sword is a little in the way, but you know what? I'll keep it there somehow, and maybe it'll just be. It is. It's going to be part of the painting. It just is. So this leg here, I'm trying to figure out the length of this leg corner to corner. With that piece to that piece is going to be about the same length as almost to the bottom here. So whatever this length is needs to be from my leg up. So right about there. I'm going to put a marker right here. And you know what? One of my favorite foods is Swedish meatballs. I love Swedish meatballs. I don't know what it is about Swedish meatballs, but I love them. Do I have a bird? Yes, there's a bird right there. I don't know if you can see it. Right here, there's a little cage right here, and you can actually maybe see her kind of like poking around right there. There's a little bit of movement right there. So, IKEA is amazing, David. And let's see. So here we go. I'm gonna go down here. And this calf kind of comes at this angle. And it's going to come up and around out with the calf here. Bring this calf in for a thinner leg. And we're going to curve this up for the calf muscle. So ever drawn the bird? I've never drawn the bird. My girlfriend has drawn the bird. Kat, where's your parakeet drawing?
Here. I don't know. I can't find my stuff anymore. I used to be so organized. I don't know where stuff is anymore. It was there.
All right, don't worry. This is Kat, everybody.
Hi.
Two screens.
If I can find it someday.
All right. So anyway, love birds. You help baby birds. Birds are great. So I can see that this leg is actually a little bit too far. Maybe I can just a little bit too far out. It looks a bit off. Let me see if I can adjust this leg right here to be not so far out. It should be right about the ankle. Come out right about there. So I can adjust and adapt. So Ronnie, usually I let people get like free wins only a couple times, but more than that, gotta make a deal. This is a nice line. I really like how this line turned out. This is a really beautiful foot. I like it. And let's see, a baby bunny. The lag has been stabbed, guy. The lag has been stabbed. You've been having lag issues. Will I be online tomorrow, David? I will probably be online tomorrow. The goal is to be online tomorrow. But sometimes things come up, and I just can't make it. But you know what, David? I gotta add your initials, man. You know, you came back and gave some more. I'm gonna add some more initials. You're gonna get a tattoo somewhere. This leg is gonna get a tattoo of just a David. People are gonna wonder who David is. I'll be online tomorrow. So take care, Busior. Thanks for jumping in, asking questions, getting involved in the conversation. Your support goes a long way. Or I should say, I guess, your conversation goes a long way. So let's see. We're going to bring this piece down a bit more. I think it's a little too high, a little too far. Out, and we're going to bring this in just to create like more of this sensual curve in this leg here.
I have to set the timer for 10 more minutes. Alexa off. Set timer for 10 minutes. Can you?
And now we're going to figure out what to put in the center.
Emma, can you take out the pie?
Oh yeah, conversation is definitely a form of support. Totally. Totally.
Off. Alexa off. Okay. I have to go, but can you take out the pie in 10 minutes? Your alarm.
Can I just turn it off in 10 minutes? Or do I actually have to take out the pie?
I think you should take it out.
Okay, I'll take it out. Take out the pie in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you can stick it on top of this.
Alexa, remind me to take out the pie in 10 minutes.
Okay, I'll create a reminder to go off in 10 minutes.
Alexa, set an alarm for 10 minutes. Okay.
So David, really out of curiosity, was it my artwork that you thought was bullshit, or like what did you feel was bullshit? Just out of curiosity, right? I know I was like just painting my shirt off and everything, so I guess whatever you saw, that probably was a cat. Yeah. By the way, David, I made some changes to that picture. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I made some changes to it. I made some updates to give it some more interest. Make it a more... I think it stands out more now with this change. I like it more this way. Did you say stingy or stingy? Yeah, the foot on the right side, thank you. The whole setup, I mean, you know, I guess I could go with the bigger setup somehow, but this is my living space. I'm not quite up there enough to afford a full-on studio, but this is it. My heart is fire. Thanks, dude. I'll have to remind me. I'm gonna upload that as a shirt or merchandise for you at some point. Maybe after it dries a little bit more. And you know, you're gonna be on T-shirts. You're gonna be on T-shirts and mugs. You're gonna be on everything. I really got to come up with a custom portrait for you. If I can figure, I'll have to come up with a custom portrait for you. But let's see. So I've got this other piece right here, and let's go like this. So we got this body and torso right here. Oh yeah, well, you know, it's two people living here, as well as my girlfriend's inherited. She's inherited quite a lot of stuff. What's up, Feet Lover? How you doing? Good to see you. My girlfriend has inherited a lot of stuff throughout her life, and a lot of this stuff is from her, you know, generational stuff. When I draw and tell out loud what I'm doing and why the line need to be there, and then you come back and interact. It's a nice vibe. Feet Lover. Yes, I definitely remember you, dude.
You see my plastic bag?
You don't forget a name like Feet Lover. So, anyway, popping this down. David, thanks so much for the feedback. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Northern. I think. Here, let me sketch out this body part of this body real quick, because I could go on about feet. I have this entire collection of feet drawings that you might like, Feet Lover. By the way, Northern, yesterday Feet Lover said he doesn't actually like feet, or she doesn't actually like feet. So, but because of the name, I just want to kind of have open that line of conversation here. Yes, I have an entire collection of
I'm coming, sorry.
of feet drawings.
Okay.
So here we go. All right, let's go down here.
Okay, bye.
All right, later, babe. See you in a few minutes. Oh, you're going to get your nails did, right? All right, so this is going to come down. It's about almost the same length as that. So we're going to bring this down. And then just a little bit further for ankle. There needs to be a rock here. So we're going to draw a rock right here. A little rock that comes down. And let's see where this goes. It's going to pop down right there. All right, so my collection of feet drawings. Ivan the doggo, what's going on, Ivan? How you doing on this 4th of July? Welcome. Happy 4th of July. And I know that not everybody here is from America, so 4th of July doesn't matter to lots and lots of people. But welcome anyway. We live in a society that has transcended cultures. Yeah, so my girlfriend's baking a pie right now, and we're gonna go eat that at her cousin's place. But here's the start of my collection for feet. You just went to a parade in the neighborhood. Here's the start of a collection for feet lovers out there. This was done in oil pastel. So for the feet lovers out there, if you like a little rear ankle and heel, this is made for you. These are ears. Anybody got an ear fetish? Anybody like ears? So let's see. What else we got? So these are all the ears. Where's the feet? My collection of feet drawings. No, this is a hand drawing, but let's see what else. Where are the feet? Got some more hand stuff, but nobody actually likes hands, right? Hands are overdone. We need more feet artists. Where is this? Oh, here we go. Here's a foot. Here's a unique foot for you. Let's see. Here's some more in a very distinct style. Here's another. A lot of rear ankles. And these are actually my favorite. If you really like feet, this is I gotta put these on a shirt at some point. These are going on a shirt. These are logo worthy. So like body anatomy, don't want to be banned, but do I do adult pictures? If yes, are they good? So I don't have any I have a couple nudes that I've done from just like, live drawing sessions, but I don't personally spend that much time doing nudes because all right, cool. So I don't spend as much time doing adult pictures because I live stream all my work. So that can actually cause issues. But yeah, I'm open to it. I've definitely done on Reddit Draw Me. I've seen people post on like the not safe for work version of Reddit Draw Me's, and I've done those before. So I'm totally not opposed to doing not safe for work work or art. Alexa, off. All right, I'll be back in just 1 minute. I gotta take some pies out of the Hey, so David, out of curiosity, I guess I could do two versions of this, but do you think that it should be each foot individually, or do you think it should be both at the same time as one idea? All right, I gotta take some pies out of the fridge or the oven. Alexa, how much time is left on the timer?
There are no timers set. This is a reminder. Take out the pie. This is a reminder. Take out the pie.
Okay. All right, we have removed pies from the fridge here. And most deaf bind foot shirt. All right. This makes me feel like I gotta like, I've been slacking on the business element of my artwork. The business element being uploading merch, but just wanting to spend more time painting and stuff. So individually, but the art needs to have a motive, or per se in the marketing, it needs a brand. People don't just buy a feet picture because it's cool. People buy it because it has meaning. You buy because, look at me when I draw. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for that feedback. Good idea. I'll have to add a nice story. Hey, Northern, take care, dude. Good to see you, Northern. Yeah, take care. Ivan the doggo. Oh, take care, both of you. The doggos have arrived. So let's see. So we got this, and we're gonna go. I think the top of the leg is gonna come down, and we're gonna go like this. And we're gonna have some private areas right around here. And this is actually going to go down past this curve here. So we're going to go down past the curve. Go down past this curve before we start to bring in the knee. Should be right around there. Let's go. Can't stay, but hello. Edits, what's going on, dude? Do I draw adult art of men? Yes, I have done. So I actually have a collection of I definitely draw both genders. I draw both genders. These are based on, this is some artwork that I've done. I mean, these are just drawings, and these are based on photos, like photo projects, quick sketches, things like that, time sketches. There's like a website that gives you like time sketches of people. And, you know, you kind of just, they give you random photos and then you sketch them. So yeah, I do all genders, whatever identity people identify, I'll do art of. Man, woman, makes no difference. But I haven't actually done, I don't think I've done a painting of, a nude painting of anybody except myself. Or man-wise. I haven't painted a nude man except myself, but yeah, definitely drawings. Also, drawings are easier to ship because I could just do it on paper. Can I do a big wall mural? I've never done a mural. I can do whatever, you know, will accept oil paint. But yeah, art is art to me, whether it be man, woman, or other. Art is art to me, dude. So here we go. We're gonna bring this down, and this is gonna come around like right before there. Let's come up right above the buttocks here. And then we're gonna come down. As this starts to curve, we're gonna come down just a little bit further in on the curve here. And yeah, so here we go. Let's keep this sketch going. Let's go like this, pop this down, bring this over. And this is gonna come down. And we're gonna have a little bit of a calf that comes around like so. And here we go. It's gonna be a little bit of a curve right as this calf starts. Curve this other calf and then bring this down and then bring this down just before the ankle. And we're gonna curve around for the knee. And yeah, here we go. So pop this down over here and then bring this. This is gonna come in just above, like right here, just above the calf muscle. So I gotta figure out how to bring this down. So we're gonna go, let's see if this is about the right length. Let's find a good length here to measure. Lock your elbows, reaching my arm out with this as my ruler, and locking my arms of where I'd like to figure out the length. So that should be about that. So that should be about where the foot starts, right? Let me see. Top of the foot to the bottom of the knee is the bottom of the knee to here. So the top of the foot to the bottom of the knee should be the bottom of the knee to here. So the top of the foot should be right there. I'm a little bit high. So top of the foot will go right around here. All right, so I'll hit me up tomorrow. Hey, thanks so much, David. You take care. Good to hear from you. Good to chat. See you in 24 hours or something. Or see that name in 24 hours or so. All right, and then we've got this other foot here. And this calf is going to come right around here. Still a bit messy of a sketch, but you know, we'll keep it going. Keep it going, and eventually it will make itself, it will clarify what it is. I think this calf's a little too big, so we'll round it out a bit, thin it out. And let's go like this. So we got this foot right here, a couple toes right here. And now let's carve this out. So this is actually in a rock, this figure. So we can actually block out some of this foot. And when I say block out, I mean like, you know, shape part of this. And this toe is going to come right down here. And here we go. And let's see. So popping this up, going around, and we're going to go around this leg, give it some of this form and shape. And we're going to carve around this leg here. And then we're going to bring this up right around here. And I want to give it a bit of three-dimensionality here, and we're going to do that by creating this little gap here, right? So this is going to create a three-dimensionality as we go around into this shape. And this from the tip of the foot is going to come down like right there. And now what we got to do is just bring in some of the shadow spaces. So we're going to sketch out some of the shadow areas that need to be defined. And that helps to make the overall drawing much easier. So we got the shadow back there. We're going to have some shadows right here. And it's going to come down to the bottom of the leg pretty much, like right around there. And then get some knee design. So we're going to get the knee right here. Get the knee to come around. This needs to be less angled. Coming up with the knee right there. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And then round that out. Round that out here. Let's curve this foot right here. Let's curve that foot right there. Create a little triangle for some shadow right there. Bring this shadow down quite a bit to the tip of the toe. Bring this down. And there needs to be a lot more shadow here, so I'm actually going to bring a shadow to the front of the leg. A little bit of shadow around the back. You can actually see that. That's fine right there. And bring this knee. Carve out this knee, carve that section out, and right here we're going to have some parts. So actually this is a carved out part that's like a stone that's been chopped off. So we're gonna we're gonna put that in here. That's making this look like stone that's been chopped off, and then that's what we got for our privates. Cut off from the experience of the world. So here we go. Let's see. See how we got. What we got. Yeah, that's all right. This is what we got, and this is what we're working with. We've got these three major pieces here. So Busior, welcome. Nicole Heather Dolik. Dumby. Yes, okay. Leandro, that looks horrible. Sure. All right. So Busior fam, welcome. How you doing, Busior? Hilarious. I like how two trolls have entered the room at the same time. Are y'all on like a Discord? And y'all just like team up to like go say stuff to people, or did you find me on Reddit? How did you discover this channel? It's not bad, thank you. Yeah, it's a sketch. It's definitely a sketch right now. So here we go. I'm trying to think of some other elements. But I think what needs to happen is I need to start to paint this in. So let's do that. Let's start painting it in, and we'll get somewhere. So I'm trying to think of like a standard color for all of this. And what I'd like to do thinking about my colors here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use like a dark, we're gonna keep this mostly like a darker color, darker shades of red. And that's how we're gonna paint this thing. So finding a good brush to lay down this variety of colors here. Doesn't even have to be the perfect brush, just the brush that I feel like using. Alright, we're gonna go with this brush. Actually, this probably is the perfect brush. It's a Rosemary & Co. brush. So Bussior, Fam, and Mia, what's going on? Some wonderful new people have entered the room. Is that a knee bent? You're trying to see what all is going on in a painting. Yeah, so there's a couple things. This is a knee, pretty much standing on their toes, kneeling. And then this is a figure that's standing against the rock. And then this is a leg that's on top of a stand. And we will start painting this here in a moment, but just had to get the initial sketch done. And here we go. So we're gonna go with a dark. I'm gonna go with a dark purple or dark red purple for the initial steps of this. Let's go like this. So this is going to come up. And just as we start this, we can really start to see how shadow is like. Yeah, you're welcome. So that's what I do. I probably over-explain things. And the only catch to that is I'm not as good at explaining things as like Bob Ross. But yeah, I try to explain as much as I can. Sometimes I over-explain. Like when I make a mistake, I might talk about that mistake. Or rather than talking about the mistake, I'll go into detail about exploring your creativity and allowing mistakes to help guide your artwork. So here we go, just creating the overall shadow pieces here, and we will. You can already start to see certain forms take place. We're gonna go right here. Okay, so this was a little bit high, which means we're gonna go down here. I think this was where the leg needs to go. So the foot came up a bit. All right, I see what I did. And we're gonna go around here, pop this up, go down into the leg right here. So what brings you in, Mal? How you doing? So Mal Bussior is a new viewer as well. So welcome. Basically what I do is I talk a lot and paint a lot, and sometimes draw, and I like give myself different challenges sometimes too, like, you know, I'll do a drawing challenge or something like that. So, you know, if you're just looking for like creative ideas or maybe some art inspiration, or just to have like a random channel to join into where the artist actually talks to you, this is it. You have found a good spot. I consider myself an interactive artist. And here we go. So this is coming up like so. shadows right here. And here we go. So the initial sketch really isn't, I mean, it's important, but again, like I'm not a do as I do type of channel, because the real way, the right way, or I don't want to say right or wrong way. The traditional, classic, most standard way of doing this type of work is you would sketch this out perfectly with a pencil. So I would like go through. So if I was that type of artist, I would spend a ton of time going into detail and sketching this out perfectly with a pencil, and then start painting within the lines to figure out where I want to go. But I don't do that. I do things differently. I do my sketches with a straight onto the canvas with paint, and I find that helps give me more of a. I think that helps capture my personality better, as far as artwork is concerned. So, looking forward to see the end results. You've been struggled with the human body when drawing, painting. You always get the proportions wrong. Well, that is definitely quite the challenge. So, yeah, I guess like, so what kind of human body are you drawing? Are you doing anime? Like, just out of curiosity, right? Just for the sake of a coaching moment. Where do you feel the challenges? Where do you feel the gap is? I mean, obviously you said you got the proportions wrong, but if you were to dig into how you paint or how you draw, what is it that you feel prevents you from getting the right proportions? And I think proportions are such a funny thing, all right? If you look at some really great artwork, most really great artwork, like, proportions are, I mean, I don't want to say most, but there's a lot of great artwork that proportions are off, and that's just a natural thing. Vincent van Gogh always gave people really big noses and really big hands and feet. What's his name? I can't remember. I have a book of him. All right, well, mine's drawing a blank, but he would make these like really Egon Schiele. So Egon Schiele would just have these like really long, goofy shaped arms, and that was just his style. He made it his style, So I'm not saying to draw. If your goal is to draw proportions correctly, go for it. I'm not saying that it's not worth it to learn proportions, but my philosophy has always been that your personal style of artwork is going to come from your personal habits when your personal habits meet your interests. So, if you become obsessed with proportions long enough and you see artwork that's perfectly proportioned, that's how you want to draw, then your personal habits of drawing, which is maybe not seeing proportions, it's eventually going to come together to come up with something unique, and that's unique to you. And, maybe that does mean that maybe one day you do get proportions right, and you just find that all that work that you put into it, you're like, okay, I'm ready to move on and do my own thing from there. But again, that is a personal art philosophy. I don't think that would go well in an art school. I think an academic person might be very offended by it, that anybody would try and go and come up with their own style before they've mastered and painted like Rembrandt. But that is my perspective. So you can have your teachers contact me at huzzah@huzzahcreative.com if they feel like I'm wrong. So anyway, continuing on, I'm gonna add these shadows in. And here we go. So portraits, the face is hardest for you. Dali is your favorite artist. Your art teacher always gave you grief. Your art teacher always gave you grief because you loved Dali or because your faces looked weird? Faces hardest. I think Dali was actually pretty good at portraits, though, wasn't he? In his earlier days, you know, when he actually painted portraits, which eventually moved into surrealism, but I think he was actually really good at portraits. So if he inspires you, you know, if that's the style you want to paint in, then by all means, you know, keep studying, keep at it, and don't give up. But just because you don't necessarily get it does not mean that, you know, you should let your teacher affect you after you've gotten out of school. So here we go, bringing in some shadow right here. So as we tighten up these sketches, you can start to see how this will all come together. But both LOL. All right, well, did you at least like your teachers? One of my acting teachers asked me about like a previous acting teacher experience, and the question really stood out to me. Is like, hey, do you like your teachers? And I thought that was really interesting because it is an important question. If you don't value your teacher's opinion, then obviously you're not going to learn from it. But if you really had like a great teacher and you accepted their opinion and their ideas, you're going to learn a tremendous amount from them. All right, so you can start to see how some of these shadows start to create a 3D effect, although it's still not that strong yet. But we will get there. We will reach a point where it becomes a thing. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope it was helpful for you in some way. So here we go. Very muscular buttocks has been drawn. So that's what we're going for, a very muscular buttocks. And then we're gonna go paint this down. Let's go straight down with this. The bird has spoken. So Mal, are you in the United States? Are you celebrating 4th of July today? Because if so, happy 4th of July. If you don't live in America, happy 4th of July as well. It is an American holiday with lots of fireworks and all sorts of exciting things. I don't know if you know what 4th of July is, but you know, happy 4th of July. She's a great teacher, very strict. Even now at 36 years old, you still hear her in the back of your mind when you're sketching. Maybe it's a good thing, yeah. Yeah, she definitely made an impact. And I guess at 36, it's ultimately up to you to decide whether it is helpful to your current art practice or whether it's it is limiting you. And I think that's a really hard question to answer. Like, I'm saying it casually. Oh, happy 4th. Hey, I'm in California too, Los Angeles. I say it so casually, like, letting someone else's creative opinions totally influence you. And, if you really respected her, if you really loved her ideas, if you thought she was an incredibly talented teacher, then, and, you desire to be an artist like them, then that is awesome. That is amazing that you had a teacher like that. That's fantastic. But also, I think there are some people who have not had as positive teacher experiences, or have not had as meaningful art teachings. And I think for those people, it's important to consider what ideas you have that were given to you by some teacher that is causing or that is influencing you and limiting your creative output. And when I don't mean output, I don't mean like volume wise. I mean output like, well, yeah, maybe it does, like volume wise is a part of it, but what you're comfortable putting out. And I say volume-wise somewhat because, I definitely think that doubts from a teacher, or like a perfectionist mentality that a teacher ingrains in students can be limiting. So anyway, Berta, welcome. Berta Wiltshire, I recognize that name. Monterey Bay, what a creative area. So, what are they? Carmel and John Steinbeck. What an amazing, inspiring place. You are quite fortunate to live out there. There's so many art galleries, so many wonderful things to see and do. And of course, all the great writers of time have been out there. A lot of the great writers of time, of history. So the top of this foot needs too much shadow, but we can fix that at some point. So you live in a Monterey Bay. Love Monterey. Been there quite a few times. And here we go, getting into these shadows. So, yeah, you think it's a good thing you're sketching? Good to hear. And Berta, how are you doing today? What is going on in your world? Monterey Bay. I drove up there. Hey, do you know if Big Bear, the route from Big Bear along the Pacific coast is still closed, or whether it's opened back up yet? Are you a known artist out there, Mal? Do I have a known artist in the Bay Area in this live stream right now? Are you a known successful artist already? And I'm just, I'm just saying random stuff that you've probably already considered. So I do have to wrap up soon because, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11:41 a.m.
Because I have to get going somewhere in a bit to celebrate New Year's, but I will be back at some point Probably tomorrow. Probably not tonight. They just opened it up to Big Sur. Awesome. Cool. Time to make a trip out there because it's been a long time. So we've got this red, we've got these shadows. I like to, one thing I love about live stream painting is I get to constantly like look back and see how things are progressing. And I don't think that that's easily achievable if I was not live stream painting. Because it forces me to look away in a different direction. All right, so what are we gonna do with this color here? Well, you're known to me, Mal. I haven't seen your social media yet, but you're known to me. A buddy of mine was on my Facebook. When I posted something, I was like, I was admiring Lady Gaga, I think. I think this is what the post. I might be making this story up from a bad memory, but I think I was like writing about Lady Gaga, and I was like, yo, she's like pretty much the same age as me, but she has like experienced so many more great things. And it was kind of like, I was like, wow, that's pretty wild to think of the difference between, the life experiences of someone at Lady Gaga's level and, anybody else. And my buddy, it could have been a totally different situation, but, I'm going to use this story and adapt it. And then my buddy posted down there, he's like, you know what? I know who you are. That's fine. Like, I think it was something about like fame or something. And he's like, you know what? I know who you are. I don't know who this other person is. But that's why I think the story's wrong, because it just made me realize after I realized this quote, it was about Lady Gaga, because who doesn't know who Lady Gaga is? So I forget what person I was referencing, but I think commenting about somebody's fame, some artist that I knew. And then my friend was like, well, I don't know who they are, but I know who you are. And I was like, wow, that's right. In his egocentric world, in my egocentric world, I don't know who a lot of artists are, but I know who you are, Mal. And that's important. In my very narrow view of the world, in my self-centered, egocentric view of the planet, there may be a very famous artist, actor, musician out there that I have no clue who they are, but now I know who you are, and that makes you more famous than them, in my book. So, just a fun thought to really think about there, right? You are now a known artist, in my mind. Might sound a little woo-woo, but this is the stuff I talk about on this channel, so just a little warning. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with blue. And I want to create this contrasting red, orange, yellow, green, blue. What color do I want to paint this platform? I'm going to go with a blue. Actually, you know what? Let me go with a green blue. So I'm going to lay down some of this this French ultramarine blue. And then it's time to throw in a little bit of a green. So we're going to create like a nice, let me see, I got deep green here. Let me use my phthalo green. Yeah, you're welcome. So my phthalo green and my French ultramarine blue are gonna create a color, a unique color, a unique shade of blue. Look at this little piece of hair that I found. Alright, so we're gonna create this unique shade of blue. We're gonna paint it in. Phthalo blue with okay. So let me find where the darkest shadows are going to go. I think the darkest shadow is going to come right from the tip of here. And we're going to go into the leg. Right there. And create another set of lines that basically comes around this way. Yeah, it is definitely a heat wave. Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 78 degrees Fahrenheit.
So it's only 78 degrees right now. Alexa, what's the temperature this afternoon? Alexa, what's the temperature this afternoon?
This afternoon, in Burbank, you can look for clear skies and sun, with temperatures around 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, there's an excessive heat warning in effect until Monday, July 8th, 6 p.m.
Oh. Alexa gave away that I live in Burbank. Whatever. As long as she doesn't give away my address. Crazy, Alexa. Why would you do that? Don't you know I'm live streaming? Anyway. Los Angeles. Let's just say Los Angeles. So here we go. I'm gonna go like this. Paint in some of the shapes on this rock here. Give some of the shadows. And yes, so it's supposed to be really hot later today, but as of right now, it's only about 50, 70 something degrees. So can I please make a turtle? Hi Karen, happy 4th MP. Hi Karen, nice to meet you. What brings you here? How are you doing today? Did you just really just want somebody to paint a turtle? You're outside with your turtle. Well, that's special. What a great thing to be, just hanging out with your turtle. You know, if you give me a minute, I might do it. I can't make promises just yet, but I might do it. Just give me a minute. So let's see here. Painting in down here right around the feet. Getting in some of these shadows. And I want to color this in right here. This is going to be all green. So one thing I really wanted to do with this piece is make the color more cohesive as an individual color concept. All right, and right here, you know, here's a funny thing about turtles, by the way. Bonnie the turtle. What a cute name for a turtle. So here's the funny thing. And you know what? It's a challenge that I'm having as an artist. You know, as a live streaming artist, I definitely, you know, pride myself in the idea that I'm interactive, right? But at the same time, when I paint these random things that people ask for, like a sword or a turtle or something, or someone's face, people are so confused by it when they look at it without context. And I find myself with this dilemma of like, okay, should I stick with the interactivity part and, you know, let people who just see it randomly be like make them figure it out for themselves, or do I totally ignore the interactive part and just focus on just doing my own thing? So there's like a funny little gap here that I've recently thought about. Now, of course, you know, in my head, I know the right thing that I want to do is to keep making art for y'all and being interactive on YouTube and all those things. So that's what I want. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I want to do. But it is funny to have this like dilemma of, you know, while I'm live streaming painting, that people have these requests, and I don't take every request. Um, you know, sometimes, a lot of time, most of the 90% of requests I don't take, but every once in a while someone comes in with a fun idea and I'll do it. So let's do a turtle, shall we? What's up, Christian? How you doing? So I'm really glad you did that emoji of a turtle, because I would have never figured out how to, it would have taken me a minute to figure out how to draw a turtle. Let's see, I like turtles. Make their skin lighter than their face. Got the little flippers right here. I guess this is accurate, right? They got little flippers that pop out. So, boom, boom. And then let's see. Gotta give it a dark green shell, right? I guess the shell is green. Like a dark green. What color is your turtle shell? Would you call it like a dark green or something? Dark green turtle shell. I think that sounds about right, like a dark green turtle shell. So let's go like this. And I guess the turtle shell would kind of come around, right? Above its head. And by the way, you know, I'm not going to spend a half hour fully rendering a turtle, but I will make it. I feel like the shell might be a little too big, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and paint the shell down and through. What kind of turtle do you have? And then the bottom of a turtle shell is like a yellow, right? It's like an off color. So let's go here. Let's do like an off yellow color. There we go. Give it a little bit of roundness for the turtle. And I guess we got to add shadow, right? We got to add shadow. So let's go. I guess he needs flippers in the back. He's going to be moving. So let's lighten. Let's figure out. Let's see. Give him a little bigger shell at the bottom here. A cute little turtle. And let's go with a little bit more. Let's go with some shadow into the neck here. That is totally a wrong turtle. Because their heads don't just stick out of a void like that. But that's okay. I'm gonna paint these little toes. A couple little turtle toes right there. I guess turtles have five claws, right? Turtle's got 5 claws. Let's use this to paint some of the textures on the shell here. And let me see, how do we get rid of the color on this brush? I use some black here. And all right, so you got a little turtle feet in the back. Turtle feet in the back. Lighten up this area. All right. Well, whatever this is, it's a turtle. I'm calling it turtle. What should we name this turtle? Would you say your turtle's name is Sulcata? The name is yeah. I guess we're not gonna come up with a name for the turtle now, but let's see. So let's get back to celebrating 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Hope you get some amazing food for the day. And I will be leaving here in about 30 minutes to get ready for 4th of July as well. But wanted to get some painting in today before we got started. So I have a message that's been moderated. Who's sending messages that are inappropriate? What's going on? Okay, well, thank you for the subscription. Really appreciate that. And let's get back into this painting here. So with this piece, there needs to be some shadow right down into here. And let's go like this. So that's coming down. And then this needs to be totally green from the front here. Huh. JD. Ah, that's JD. I almost forgot what this name was supposed to be. So here we go. Bringing in more of these shadow spaces. And Iggy. There we go, Iggy. We're gonna name it Iggy. Iggy. So we've got some of these dark spaces here. I'm going to add a little bit more shadow to give stuff to like blend in pretty much. And as I start to create this form, it's going to start to look more and more 3D basically. And that's the goal here. More and more 3D. Three-dimensional. The forms are going to start to take shape, just as you start to create more shadows and light. That's all a 3D object is if you can see where the shadows are and where the light areas are, you can draw pretty much anything, because it's really that straightforward. It really is. And here we go. So Boussier, what's going on? Boussier, welcome back. Let's all celebrate Boussier's welcome back. How you doing? How are you doing since we last chatted about 10 minutes ago? What has changed in your life? What new thoughts have you had? Did you know that the average person can have a million thoughts per minute? No, I'm just kidding. I made that number up. It's probably more like 100 thoughts a minute. Or 30 new thoughts in a single minute is how many thoughts an average person has. Those are so many things that pop up into our mind that we just totally don't even, just whatever. We don't even think about it, you know? I find the human mind fascinating. That the Boussier fam, at some point, just the past few minutes that you have popped in and out of my room, you have had 1,000 thoughts probably over the past hour or two. None of which you've shared. None of which you shared with me. Which makes me sad a little bit, because that means that you are uncomfortable talking about what's going on. What challenges you're facing, what experiences you're having. People's inner worlds are incredibly interesting. But most people don't actually share their thoughts. And I'm not talking about like your deepest, darkest, most private thoughts. You know, I don't need to hear all that, but I find it interesting that not enough people communicate the very interesting random things that pop up, these questions. And I kind of get why. I was on Reddit today, and I asked this question about, like, you know, if you could travel back in time, whatever. And all I wanted to do was just wake up this morning and I was just curious what people would say. I just had a curious interest in how people would answer this question. And you know what, like, some of the top answers were? Some of the top answers that got the most upvotes were, why would you even ask this question? You don't need to ask this question, just figure it out for yourself. And, you know, it kind of makes me think, like, that's probably why people don't like to just open up about their thoughts, is first, I mean, I guess you probably think that nobody cares, which probably is true, but only to an extent. And then also because there's probably people that think that discussing things is stupid when you can just make it up yourself. So I don't know why people are grumpy on the 4th of July, but I can understand a grumpy person. So that said, working through these pieces here, let's see. So this needs a bit more color around the top here. Okay, so this brush has found its use. Let's give a line to Iggy. Iggy. One day, someone's gonna be like, "Why is he painting dumplings next to a turtle? This artist is so weird." You like the turtle? Yeah, thank you. This brush is really hard to get paint out of. I'm absolutely amazed at how much paint that this brush kind of keeps in it. Wow, this brush, I've squeezed it out like 4 times. I used a lot of cleaner and it's still going. All right, so I need another brush now. You know what? I think right now is a good time to take a break. Actually, what should I do? I don't feel like taking a break right now. I feel part of me wants to take a break, but then I'm like, I should just keep going. Let me start laying down some of the light colors. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use a lot of white. For whatever reason, I'm always missing my white tubes. No matter how much I use color white, I always somehow cannot find it easily. Okay, so I found a tube of white, and we're gonna get into the work. And I want to keep this red theme. This red theme that we've got going on here. So let's do this. We're going to use a very brushy brush. I like to call it a brushy brush. Use a very brushy brush. I'm going to grab a lot of this white. I'll lay it down with this red, and we're going to create a nice light shade of pink. Let's add a little bit of yellow. Let's go like this. So now the most obvious places first is where we're going to add this color here. And one of my moderators earlier requested to have a sword in this painting. So we're going to try to keep this sword here and not paint over it. We're going to keep it here. It's a creative choice. Even though I know it could cause confusion to somebody seeing this in the future, I'm keeping it. So here we go. This is pretty much like the easy part, you know, you're just painting into large spaces. Paint into very large spaces with a cohesive color. Here we go. Need this color right down here. All right, so got the base load of color around. And eventually we will continue to tighten all this up. I mean, not eventually, we are continuing to tighten it all up, but I'm gonna move into the next sections here. So same thing with this piece right here. Actually, I'm gonna actually go with my left hand here because there's not too much at stake. Never really is with art. I mean, maybe there are some because, you know, art can have a lot of meaning depending on how you do it, but as far as this painting, keep it pretty expression full. I'm gonna give it this pink flesh tone. Let's see how this winds up. At some point, we'll probably go over this color with a different shade. I'm not too worried if some of the color gets into the dark areas. Eventually, we're gonna like do a form of blending anyway. And here we go, keeping with this color theme of reds, of a consistent color theme, keeping with the red. There we go. Give these shadows some more distinct look here. We'll continue to eventually tighten this all up, but for now, let's bring this into the next section. What I probably should have done is made this a bit more spreadable. So let's bring in some of our Maybe it's a little bit oiled. And get into this form. Let's do this form. So here we go. Painted this down, and we're gonna go bring this up right here, bring this into the knee, bring this up into the knee here, and paint this across. Just keep it nice and loose because this is all just a large body of color. And eventually we will make this even a little different, but for now, just covering the space. One thing I love about bigger paintings is the fact that with a bigger painting, it's pretty much, unless you're doing just like totally totally abstract work. Even with abstract work, it could take a while, but unless you're just like painting totally abstract, there's always a reason to come back as you do bigger paintings. Like when I would do small paintings, I would finish them in a couple hours and I'd be done. I'd be like, okay, I don't really feel like there's much more to do. But the bigger the canvas, the more paint you're gonna need to use. And you might not realize it at first, but when you're painting, you think you can do it quick, but the size of a canvas as you go bigger and bigger really starts to add up really quick. And you start to like realize like, hey, I can't paint as fast as I used to, or I can, but even then, even if I paint quickly, I still have so much canvas to cover. So this probably needs to go in here a little bit. And is this butt? Is this butt supposed to be right there? Let me see. No, I think that this butt's correct this way. All right, well, we're done for today. I'm gonna go get ready to celebrate some 4th of July. So I hope all of you having a great 4th. If you don't celebrate 4th of July, that's cool too. Hope you have a great weekend. I think everybody has a weekend, right? So let me clean off this brush and close up some of the supplies before I wrap up here. Let's see, I had a great quote that I came up with this afternoon. I can't remember. Let me think about it. I had a great quote this afternoon. Fortunately, I wrote it down, but I can't pull it up because it's on my phone. But I want to wrap up with this quote, so I'm going to have to turn off one of my streams and pull it up. But before I do that, let's close up our supplies. So if you want a good quote that I made up, feel free to give me a moment as I close up some supplies, and you will hear some inspirational words that can charge you and ignite your passion, hopefully. So close. Let's get this shut down. I love using this because it helps me save so much paint. My paint lasts like an extra 4 to 5 days, sometimes a week, when I use this sealed palette. Clear off some of my brushes here. Got all these packages piling up. All right, so for those of you here, let me try to find that quote. TikTok, have a great day. I'm going to try to find a quote now. Let me see. What did it say? Nope, that's not it. What did I do with my quote? It's easier to predict the history than It's easier to predict history than the future. There we go. That's the inspirational quote for the day. And with that, take care, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful 4th of July, and see y'all.